That's a pretty good set of donkey brains, I think.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I totally forgot about that.
Yes. So I think we have to give the honorary golden taffy or tiffy to Igor Severino for the most rank foul uh, donkey brains in a fight to
All right. Welcome to another episode of Two Fight Fans, where we talk about all things in combat sports. I'm one fight fan, Colin.
Colin. Everything is infinitely worse than it was in 2024.
Here I was, and I was gonna say happy 2025, everyone. Here we go. We even said this year we're gonna be more positive. We're gonna try to see the brighter side of everything.
Well, here's the thing, Colin. I might legitimately
Oh
not
my
be able to see
god.
the brighter side of everything. Spoiler alert for everyone listening. I've been diagnosed with basically becoming blind in the next few years, and that fucking sucks. But until then, I'm gonna be watching absolute slop produced by the UFC because I'm just that committed. How was your New Year's overall, Colin?
It was not bad. I didn't watch any fighting though, and you know, I totally thought I was totally duped. I duped myself. I played myself here. Remember how we said like, oh yeah, Inoue will be the way to end the year, and he'll like he's fighting on Christmas Day or something, but then we found out like, oh, actually it's been postponed to the end of January. Somehow, in the middle of all of uh the holidays and everything, I forgot that. I also forgot who his opponent was, and I thought he fought this time, only to realize, like, wait a minute, I just watched the replay of him fighting Donahue. Donahue?
Yeah, don't he?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is great. What a great match. And then I looked at the date and I was like, oh, this was from September.
You
So
absolute goof.
yep. I had the first instance of donkey brains for 2025 on myself.
Well, we'd love to see it because I have to retroactively give us both donkey brains
Oh no.
for 2024. Look, we nominated, I think, a very good crop of fighters and fights for the 2024 Tiffy Donkey Brain of the Year Awards, but we did forget someone.
Who
Colin.
did we forget? Hold on. Let me pull up. Okay, just in case people don't remember what we said, we had Jalen Turner's failed walk off KO, where he subsequently got uh submitted like seconds after that.
Yeah, that ensure
Jamal
donkey
Hill
brain.
getting 10-7 every day of his life in every time he appears in public. Bobby Green shooting for the legs on Patty Pimblett and also getting choked out when he would have basically won if it just stayed standing. And Steve Erceg for basically saying, you know what? I can't take this guy down, but what if I tried anyway
Mm.
in his flyweight title fight? So those are all pretty great nominees. What is this fifth nominee?
Well, it also ties in with most magnificent cheater award.
Okay.
Colin, before we ever started this podcast, there was a foul that occurred in the UFC that I think you and I both talked about off mic, off camera,
Mhm.
that was memorialized in a tattoo that a fighter got.
What?
Andre Lima was bit by his opponent
Oh!
so hard that there were marks in his arm that could be tattooed a day later by Igor Severino.
I totally forgot about that.
I
Oh
know, right?
my
And
god.
then I saw a reminder that, you know what? Biting his opponent on his inner arm, like on his tricep, so much that you're not only disqualified, you are also like what is it? Uh fucking
Cut.
what? Yeah. Well, he was cut, and then also suspended by the athletic commission.
Mm. Mm.
Um, in a foul where you could never feign, "Oh, I didn't know what I was doing." Biting is a pretty hard thing to go, "Whoopsies, I didn't know I was biting." Um, that's a pretty good set of donkey brains, I think.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I totally forgot about that.
Yes. So I think we have to give the honorary golden taffy or tiffy to Igor Severino for the most rank foul donkey brains in a fight to literally bite his opponent
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
on his way to being cut and blacklisted from the UFC. That's
That
pretty good, man.
yeah,
Pretty good.
that's a good one.
2024. We're entering 2025, Colin.
Well,
Um,
okay, before we enter 2025, I want
oh,
to Ariel Helwani posted his like most shocking or incredible moments in MMA.
okay.
And I want to run them by you because we hit some of these, but some of them we did not talk about. So
Okay.
I want to go over. So and he says in no particular order. But the first one he lists is Dana White's year-long love fest of John Jones. Like we talked about that a lot, how Dana White has seemingly flipped his whole fucking brain on John Jones now and is all about his boy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's surprising. Ever since his win over the mummy of Stipe Miocic, we haven't heard much about John Jones, Tom Aspinall, really anything at heavyweight. Um,
Yeah. Well, they said they are in negotiations, and from then on it's just been radio silent. So
well, who was it? Was it Ariel Helwani? Or there was some legitimate reporter who had said that John Jones is looking for $30 million, which
yeah.
was the Deontay Wilder money, in quotation marks, that he had given to the UFC about moving up to heavyweight overall.
Mhm.
Do you want to see John Jones make $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall, Colin?
I mean, I don't care. I
Yeah,
don't care enough
I
about
feel
it.
ya.
It's
Who
not
cares?
my money, so like,
Yeah, and the UFC has made plenty.
yeah.
Give it to him. Yeah. What a weird like I don't know. I would be interested if we ever had reliable reporting on how much pay-per-views sold for or how many pay-per-views did sell. Um I would be interested to see how much Jones versus Miocic sold for because the amount of effort Dana White put in and the amount of like media that just like harped on him for as Ari Hawani said, and we've said more aptly, the filleting Dana White has given to John Jones. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can't be worth it, right? Like they
No,
didn't sell 1 million pay-per-views.
I
So
I don't know. I have no idea.
yeah, I have doubts, but anyway,
Yeah.
let's keep going. Let's keep going.
All right. The second one on this list, uh, Alex Perez take over the sport, which we've talked at length at. So yeah,
Yeah, good.
yeah. The third one, Max Holloway's KO of Geth G, not Gate G, Geth G. So good job, Ariel Hawani, on misspelling Justin Gaethje's name.
Yeah, Ari Hawani, if you need a social media manager, I know somebody who's done it professionally for like 12 years. Give me a call, buddy. I will spell shit right.
or a graphic designer or spell checker,
Yeah,
whatever.
just anything. Literally anything.
um, Number 4, Diego Lopez's rapid ascension.
Here's my thing. Did
Okay.
you feel in this year Diego Lopez really blew your fucking mind? Because I've been seeing him as the breakout fighter of the year for a lot of people, or like Diego Lopez really ascended to this higher level. I don't feel that way about him. And so I'm wondering if I'm uncool and all the Zoomers know better than me, or like what the deal is?
I think he's just gotten more eyeballs on him now. I don't think it's like like incredible evolution or development of his skill set per se. I think it's just like we have a division right now that is very competitive, but also like one generation is on its way out and a new generation is coming in, and he's part of that new generation.
Okay.
That's my interpretation of
Yeah, he does have 3 wins this year, which
it. Yeah.
is good. Knocked out Sadiq Yusuf in the first round. He had that Dan Ige fight, which is weird. Then beat the bejesus out of Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
I almost forgot Sadiq Yusuf was this year. Okay, like it's not as good as his 2023, even though that was his debut and lost to Mozart Evloev, but
Mhm.
that loss is still probably his best win. You know what I mean? Like it's not that's still his best performance. So
Yeah.
all right, all right. I mean, I want to see him get the next title shot, so fuck it. Sure. Whatever, Ariel. You say it.
Yeah. All right. And then we've got after that, actually, speaking of, Dan Ige fights Diego Lopez at UFC 303 on like 2 hours notice.
Yeah. No, we gave him his flowers then. You more than I did. Like that's a baller ass move to do that.
Yeah, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, good for you, Dan. Like that. I hope you. Here's the thing. I just hope Dan Ige got paid appropriately.
Yeah.
Job. Yeah.
And did he? Probably
No.
not.
No.
But that also did, like I brought up last time, Danny Gay kind of, I feel like, has some holes in his game that's being exposed because of that. But anyway, whatever. We've already talked about Danny. But it was a pretty incredible moment for 303. And the fact that it was like, hey, I can fight in 2 hours. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
went to a decision, which was great. So,
Mhm. Yeah. Love that.
okay. Yeah, number 6, the event, an event being held at the Las Vegas Sphere.
Now we watched this live together.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, did this have a big impact on you? Everyone seems to be wetting their jockeys over it, and I'm like, it was fine.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, the spectacle of it was interesting, but like I never need to see a Sphere event again.
Yeah, like that's what I felt. Or like maybe if I was in person, but then hearing the in-person results about how like frigidly cold it was in there, how difficult it was to kind of navigate the venue, I was like, no, I don't really need to see it.
But
Just
also like all the like visual storytelling or whatever was just like I feel like you see this kind of stuff at any like IMAX theater at like the planetarium or whatever, like
ooh, a planetarium. God damn, son.
yeah, I mean
Go to the planetarium with your 4-year-old nephew. You'll see the
yeah,
same level of production as the UFC. Yeah.
listen, was there anything that was like, wow, that was like really incredible that they showed on those screens? Like it was impressive, some of the visuals, like during the fights, I guess. But again, we also commented on I liked the like crazy new outfits they had the like ring girls have to like commemorate those events. Like that was more entertaining to me.
The ring girls were the best part, but you also didn't need to like fucking like do them dirty like that, man. You just like took them out back behind a Wendy's and shanked them in the kidney.
I
Like,
mean, look,
damn,
man,
calling
it
them
was hyped up to be this.
planetarian.
Yeah, I mean,
Please,
come on,
God.
man.
Yeah.
Look, look, we watched it together, and
Yeah.
we were like, okay, this all gonna be. It's like this is all supposed to be a dedication to Mexico's history, especially their fighting history. First of all, why? Who is the UFC to be the one to tell Mexico's history? And second of all, it went into this weird direction of how like Mexico is now like a spacefaring civilization.
I forgot about that. Are you telling me a white grimace shaped ass gringo is not meant to be the person to tell Mexican history? You're crazy.
You know what? You might be right. You might be right there.
That's who's meant to tell it. No, you're right. Like this is silly, especially for like event of the year, because I've seen other places give that award, giving it to the Sphere rather than UFC 300.
Yeah.
You're wrong. Like what we just need is it's like the best event of the year are the best fights of the year. It's not where you place them. You could place fights in the middle of a volcano, but if they suck ass, if they're fucking Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena 2
Yeah.
in a volcano, it's a shitty fight night. I would much prefer Poetan Khalil Roundtree in the middle of like a wheat field in Nebraska over anything that's flashy or cool. Like yeah, that's how it goes. So
Okay. Side note on this. Which one were you more entertained, or maybe just the other way around, more disappointed with? USC Sphere or Fight Island back in 2020?
well, okay, so here's the thing, like, this year, I was, like, legitimately interested in when it was announced.
Okay.
Fight Island, I sound like such a hipster or such a, like, well, I never actually believed, but, like, when it was like, "I bought a whole island," I was like, "Bullshit, you the whole world closed down." I don't know if everyone remembers COVID, but it was like every world leader, every most powerful person in the world sat down and went, actually, this shit's fucked. We need to lock this shit down. And Dana White's like, secretly, I've purchased an island that no world power knows about. And I went, have you though? Have you? And he's like, well, okay, it's a peninsula and it's secretly just meant to be a sports venue thing. And I went, great. Are you going to do anything different? No, the UFC must look uniform at all times, which has been his messaging the entire time he's been in charge of the UFC. So, like, that wasn't interesting. And even if it was on an island, they were never going to do like a Mortal Kombat Kumite blood sport thing. It was just going to be like in a UFC facility. The Sphere not being a UFC facility and being something that required a little bit more finesse,
Mhm.
pizzazz, was a little bit more interesting. So I was more disappointed in the Sphere because I was like, hey,
Okay.
they gotta really do it. But Fight Island was always just gonna be a warehouse transplanted to a sandy location. Who gives a fuck? Yeah,
One day I want to do a retrospective on the COVID years and the COVID fighting. So
yeah. We'll have to
that'll be
recount how many pounds we gained or lost,
yeah.
depending. Yeah, I'll just say it was a large amount for me. It was a large amount. Yeah.
All
Uh,
right. The
what
seventh
are the
item
awards that
on
Ariel
yeah.
want to hand out? Yeah.
Uh Dustin Poirier's victory over Benoit Saint Denis, where he jumped the gilly like 7 times and it didn't work, and then just went fuck it and knocked his ass out.
What? So did that win a specific award, or was that just like an important thing to remember this year?
No, these were just his 2024's most shocking MMA moments.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with that. Like, here's the thing. I thought Dustin Poirier would win. I thought he was one of the safest bets as an underdog this year. But like, still awesome to see that old dog getting it and
Yeah,
absolutely bodying a young up and coming challenger, especially after routinely jumping the gilly like an absolute goose. And I love it. That's why we love Justin Poirier on this podcast because
and
he doesn't give a shit.
the whole knockout like scene was like he jumps the gilly and basically lets go and throw and stuns Saint Denis as he falls down to the ground, and then just rockets a punch to his head as Saint Denis is on his back.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, and what
Jesus.
a beautiful left hook as
Yeah,
well. Just like absolutely stunning. No, Dustin Poirier looking like an absolute stud, and then going on to fight for the title in a
yeah,
sneaky one of the best fights of the year
yeah,
contender.
yeah.
Like we should have named it. Yeah, no, we love that. That's the first really good choice Ariel Hawani has made
All
in
right,
2024. Yeah,
all right. And the eighth pick of his most shocking MMA moments And this is pretty brutal too. Bilal Muhammad becoming champion.
Fucked up. It's fucked up. He isn't remembering the name. Now, I will
No.
say, I think we did nominate this for like biggest underdog win of the year, but
Yeah.
you know what? We gotta give Bilal his flowers.
Yeah.
Dude's a
Yeah.
stud, and forever in this podcast, I will remember the name. Bilal Muhammad, UFC champion, undisputed, and absolutely took it to Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
So fair play.
I will say it was shocking on how easy he made it look. Like there was no doubt who won that fight, and also
Yeah.
like 5 rounds to none, or maybe 4-1. Like
Mhm.
it was not even close. And I definitely had Leon Edwards winning that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't even consider Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah, it was dude, and at 36 years old, good for fucking him.
Yeah.
We will always we'll light a candle for Bilal Muhammad, however this podcast goes. Like he definitely earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to do as a welterweight champion a retrospective on his career.
Mm.
Because it's like I don't even know what we'll talk about. We'll probably fall asleep. But he still won. So like, yeah, it's crazy, man.
He still became a champion. You
He
can't
did.
deny that.
Yeah, he did. And he earned that shit.
Yep.
Every second, every minute, he earned it. Yeah. So is that the last one?
No, there's 3 more. So
Holy shit.
the next one, the most one of 2024's most shocking moments was the PFL bungling the Bellator merger.
Oh, dude. Like, I know I predicted one championship will be out of business by the end of the year, but like PFL might also be out of business. Like,
Yeah, didn't I say that? Like I was saying.
yeah. What a nightmare. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, do they have any cards on the calendar that we know about? Like,
Oh,
it's
I don't
pretty
know.
embarrassing. Yeah, but we're gonna be positive this year. We're hoping the PFL will do well. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because who knows the amount of fighters that are requesting releases or haven't had fights all year. Yeah, I mean he definitely nailed that one.
Yeah. Number 10, or again in no order, but just Dakota Decheva becoming a star. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we didn't
yeah,
see it. She
no,
deserves it. I
yeah,
hope to see her in the UFC.
yeah.
That's kind of just how it goes.
And then finally, one of the most shocking moments of 2024, according to Ariel Helwani, Kayla Harrison actually making weight at 135 pounds twice. Like,
Now, how shocked are you by that?
I mean, the fact that she did fight the majority of her career, like her judo career, at what is it?
172.
172, and then drop down over 30 pounds twice to do that, you know, one, dropping 30 pounds anyways for anyone is tough, but dropping 30 pounds as a woman is a lot harder to do. Like, that's just,
And
yeah.
winning an athletic competition.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
Dropping
it
30
is.
pounds is hard with Ozempic, man. Hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's a strong, bigger lady. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough. So yeah, it is. But cutting that much weight is puts a clock on you. How many times will she be able to do that? How many more times? Maybe one more time if she fights for the title.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. It gets tough. Like, hey, when I cut weight now, it's not easy. Like, I'm just like, all right, here we go. I've done this before. I just got to do it again now.
Yeah. Are you cutting 30 pounds?
Hell no.
Are you cutting 20 pounds?
Hell no. I cut this last year in July. I cut 11.
11. Okay, but that's decent size because you're a little dude. You're like
Yeah.
90 pounds. You're tiny.
Yeah, no, I cut from 143 to 132. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's a fair amount, but she's cutting big time. I mean that's great. Like fair play to her because I didn't even think she'd make weight once. I was
I
like,
know.
or
I
if she did
remember.
make
Yeah.
once, if she did make weight, she would immediately get bodied by Holly Holm, and she took out care of Holly Holm like it was nothing, and she went 3 full rounds and won a fight by decision. After that huge, horrendous cut, where she later reported that she was pissing blood and like falling over from how terrible her weight cut was. So
Yeah.
yikes. Yeah. Well, okay, so we got a couple of fair plays in there for Hawani's show, but
Yeah.
yeah, some of them not as surprising or not as interesting, I would say. But not too bad, not too bad. But we're into 2025 now. That's some old shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. Fair.
2024. We've had some fight announcements, Colin,
Oh, okay.
and we got to talk about them. I'm gonna lay out a couple for you.
Great.
Tell me
Great.
how interested you are.
Hit
We're
me.
gonna start with the worst one I know of.
All
We'll start off low, real low.
right. All right. All right. All right.
Rampage Jackson will be
What?
fighting Rashad Evans. Wait, in a boxing match.
Oh my god.
How you feeling about that? Interested? Not interested? Completely flaccid. Where are you at?
How about like partially retract?
Ooh, like a turtle going in its shell.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. It just shows that fighters should be paid more. So
Yeah.
they don't have to keep doing this fucking shit.
Yeah. And like, okay, both of these guys, like, okay, Rashad Evans was a wrestler who developed
Yeah.
his striking a little bit.
Mhm.
Rampage, I think, technically also was a wrestler, but he also just like would just try to like bulldoze people with his striking. That's
Yeah, I
just
mean,
like who he
was
was.
he technically anything? Right? He was just like Team Bot, right? Like, I don't think he really had a pedigree or like a great depth of knowledge in a specific area. He just
Yeah.
like fought.
And how old are they? They both are in their 40s, right?
Oh, late 40s. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
They got to be in the back 9 of their life.
Ha, damn. Okay,
Yeah.
wait, but who is even promoting this fight? Is this fucking Jorge Masvidal's promotion?
Ooh, well, let's look that up. Da 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 da. Let's see. No, well, I know it's boxing.
Yeah, he does boxing, doesn't he?
Does he? So it's ICS Mania #1
Whoa,
Boxing
okay.
Showdown in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yikes.
ICS Boxing. I don't know what that is. I mean, that's definitely a fly. Neither one of these dudes are being paid probably by the end of the night, right? They're getting told they're going to get a sack of cash. And then we're going to see somebody with a snidely whiplash mustache run away with a big burlap sack with a dollar sign written on it. And both of the fighters will be left without any money at the end of this thing. That's
God,
kind
that'd
of my
be so
prediction.
sad.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to something better then.
Okay.
Leon Edwards finally has a fight again. Are you ready?
Okay.
It's against Jack Della Maddalena in
Oh.
UFC London. 5.
Okay.
How are we
Fi-
feeling?
5 round, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I like it. I think it's good. I think it's good for both of them.
Early thoughts? Early predictions?
I don't know. I think it'll be competitive. Tell me what is Jack Dominguez? Because I know he said he's like has very solid boxing, like, and it's not just like boxing for MMA. It's like actual boxing skill and technique.
Actual
What is
good
his
boxing.
what is his ground game like? Specifically, his ability to defend going to the ground.
Bad defending going to the ground, but when he's
Ooh.
on the ground, very good. He's kind of one of those guys who goes, I'm very good in the stand-up. If you take me down, I have a good chance of submitting you. But, if you're a good wrestler, you might just control me from top position.
Oh boy. So it's like the worst matchup for him then.
Well, Leon Edwards kind of has a tendency to go like, "I'm winning this fight. I'll just coast." And if you have a dangerous submission artist off their back and a dangerous boxer, you leave a lot of openings, as seen by Bilal Muhammad being like, "I'll take that free takedown,"
Yeah.
and then Leon Edwards been going, shucks, I should have defended that. Bummer." You go, "Come on, man. You can't just say bummer at the camera. You have to actually defend that shit."
But Leon Edwards is good at being on top and being heavy on top. Not necessarily doing damage, but just controlling on top.
Yeah, that's true. So it'll be interesting to see. I
All
think
right.
Leon Edwards is really good at being like 50% offensively potent, 50% defensively sound. So he's never like very good in either area. Where Jack Taylor Madalena is very offensively potent, has pretty good defense. And I think that might, over a long enough timeline of 25 minutes, win out against Leon Edwards. But we'll see.
All
We'll
right.
see.
All right.
Um,
And when is that announced for?
UFC London, which is in March.
Okay, that's relatively soon.
Yeah. And then we've got a February card in Seattle. My not
Oh.
hometown, but adopted hometown.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
wife is
Adopted
from.
hometown.
Yeah. We have a classic Seattle matchup.
Okay.
China's Song Yadong versus
Yeah.
Mexico's Henry Cejudo. That's what I think of when I see Seattle, baby. But how do you feel about the matchup? Cejudo and Yadong. That's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. Is this at 135?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that I'm mildly interested.
Like that's
I'm to be fair, I'm actually more interested in the previous matchup you said, but
more interested in that. Yeah, okay. This should be an action fight though. Like
yeah.
And if you're not interested in that, we have another 135 pound matchup, which is Rob Font and Dom Cruz.
What? Tom Cruise is fighting again?
Yeah, Dom Cruz coming back. Old ass Dom Cruz, 97-year-old Dom Cruz. How old he actually is.
Dude, why is he fighting again?
Oh, he needs money, probably. Why does anyone fight? For money.
Oh man. Listen, I want to do a retrospective one day on Dominic Cruz and to figure out like was Dominic Cruz ever as good as his record or his accolades say?
Oh, you shut your
And
fucking mouth. Dom Cruz is the best bantamweight that's ever been. Fuck
whoa,
off.
really?
Yes. Who's better than Dom Cruz?
All right, let me look this up a little bit.
Yeah, look it up. Get your little click clack tic tacking fingers out.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah. Come on now. Who's had more title defenses? You have Aljamain Sterling and you have Cody Garbrandt. Those are the only people that can compete. And we've all seen what happened to Cody Garbrandt. How's he doing? Not great, Bob. Aljamain Sterling? Maybe. Maybe Aljamain Sterling is tied. But Dom Cruz, man.
Oh,
Dom
space.
Cruz, absolute stud.
God, yeah, I'm looking at these orders. Dominic Cruz, Henan Barrow, TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz again.
Yeah. After 2 years off with a blown ACL and plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
Dom Cruz, absolute stud. How's this? When it comes to this fight night, we'll do a retrospective on Dom Cruz's career, and we'll talk about how fucking amazing he was for bantamweight.
Mhm.
He beat Mighty Mouse, man. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
but I mean, Mighty Mouse was supremely undersized, and Dominic Cruz was just so much taller than him.
Yeah, welcome to real life. People
Yeah.
are undersized all the time.
It was also before we had a flyweight division. So, like, to say that what makes him good was that he beat Demetrius Johnson when Demetrius Johnson didn't have a division. Like,
oh, Islam Makhachev is so good because he beats fucking Alexander Volkanovski. Oh, Volkanovski's so good because he beats Korean Zombie and Brian Ortega when they can clearly be 135ers. Oh, blah, blah, blah. This is Dom Cruz, the best 135er there's ever been.
all right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll I'll think about that.
Yeah, we'll argue about this because
Okay, okay.
I've got a pretty good case. Your whole case is there was no 125. Who gives a
No, that was just
But
my
all
one against him fighting Demetrius Johnson. I'm trying to think back on.
who's the next best 135er? Uriah Faber? Oh, we beat him 3 times? Fuck. Come on now. Brian Bowles? I beat him. Bah. Anyway, before that fight, we have Edson Barbosa back, baby, fighting Steve Garcia. How you feeling about that?
When are they fighting? When are they fighting?
Like what month? It's in February. They're the third from, or I guess second from main fight slot.
Okay. Which
Seattle,
which
baby. This is all in
this is
Seattle.
all Seattle. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just announcing the whole Seattle card here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay,
We've
okay.
got
Nice.
Dean Silva or John Silva or John Valjean Silva. I don't know exactly what it is. Against a man whose name I cannot pronounce, but I'll
Yeah,
try my
God.
best.
Melsik
Melsik
Bagdasarian?
Bagdasarian? Yeah. That should
Jesus.
be a good fight.
All
Just
right, all right.
see what happens. Brendan Allen, the man who proudly beats his daughters, against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, the man who killed Michelle Pereira. Love to see that, right? That's a good fight. And then it looks like Michael Chiesa versus TBD. A bummer, yeah. And then some interesting fights. We have Caitlin Vieira versus Macy Chiasson on that fight card. We've got Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kunayev. I don't know who that is, but Curtis Blades, number 5 against an unranked. Interesting. That's pretty good for a fight night card, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. So overall, like February is looking good.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
basically the back half of January forward is looking pretty strong.
All right.
It's just this first fight card of the year, which sucks ass. Yeah, which I guess we'll get to on Friday.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, is there much to talk? I mean, I guess we're gonna have to gotta fill that airtime. We'll
Oh,
figure it out, right? Like,
sure.
the interesting thing is, all next week we gotta talk about this UFC 311
Oh
because
yeah.
all the way from the early prelims to the very top, it's great. We've got
Yeah, it's a banger.
early prelims. We got Grant Dawson. We've got Eileen Perez. We've got Rinia Nakamura. Oh shit. Peyton Talbot, Jelton Almeida.
Yeah.
This is
Your boy Johnny Walker. Don't forget him.
Johnny Walker against the clone of Scoff. They look exactly alike. It's exciting. Yeah, man. A little bit of Kevin Holland. 2 title fights on there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yuri
Le-
Protzka and Jamal Hill as well.
yeah, leaked news that Merab Dvalishvili has a knee injury prior
Oh
to the
boy.
fight, and Umar Nurmagomedov has a broken forearm. So, 2 elite fighters fighting at their cripply best. And Hanata Moicano, baby.
Oh yeah.
Are you ready for a Hanata Moicano victory speech? It's gonna be insufferable.
And this will be our first pick of the year then, right? We'll do our first picks.
Yes, yes. And
Great.
this time, we're gonna change up our picks of the year. You and I will talk about this offline, but we're gonna keep track of them. And
Yeah.
We're gonna have more form and structure to each one of these.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. We're gonna do segments now in this podcast. Are you ready, Colin?
Oh my.
Segments are coming.
Okay.
We're gonna save that for the next one. This was more free flowing, bringing that 2024 energy into 2025. Yeah. Are you looking forward, I guess, to the first fight card of this year?
You mean the one this weekend or UFC
Yeah,
311?
No. The one this weekend.
Nah.
Yeah, me neither. Will we
Yeah.
watch it, Colin?
You said you are not watching Apex Slop anymore.
That's true. And this is definitely Apex Law.
Oh yeah. You've got 2 middleweight fights back to back, and a welterweight fight, and then a women's strawweight fight. That's how you end the night of fights here.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a bad card, man. It's a
Yeah.
really bad card. So we'll talk about it for 5 minutes on Friday. I'll introduce a new segment, and look, next week we're back on our game. It's gonna be good. It's
All
gonna
right.
be good.
All right. Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, welcome to 2025, Chuckle Fucks. It's a new year for two fight fans. I'm one fight fan, Stuart.
I'm your other Colin.
Buckle up. We're doing this thing probably not as good as we did last year, but mediocre to the max. Peace, everybody.
Bye bye.